so we're going to talk about the future of Destiny now. We waited a few days, see if any more info would come out, any extra, which they'll bring more out eventually, but I just wanted to see all that came out. So we're going to start with this video, we're going to start this, we'll make videos on the other parts, but for now, we're going to start with this main thing, because this is pretty much everything, in a sense, of that's honestly the most important. So, as you see, we have Codename Frontiers, which is all of this combined. So we've got Codename Apollo for the expansion, which is Summer 2025, and then Winter 2025 we have an expansion codenamed Behemoth. Each of them are going to come with major updates, which for Apollo they have it codenamed Arsenal and codenamed Surge for the two of them. One will come out in summer, one will come out in the fall. There is a rewards pass for both. And then same thing for the Behemoth. The winter update will come out, and then the spring update will come out. They don't have codenames for them just yet, which, makes sense. That's pretty far out. That's literally next year, farther than this time currently next year, so over a year, so it's all good. So then we come to the side here, and an expansion, which is the Apollo and Behemoth, which I do think it's funny. It's Titan Behemoth. Obviously, it's probably not about the Titans, but it's still funny. But we've got new stories, new locations, new missions, new weapons, new gear, new raids, and dungeons. Alright, so we're going to start with the first thing, new stories. I hope it's actual new stories. The locations as well, I hope it's not old locations they're bringing back. I hope it's actually just new stuff. If anything old comes back, it should be in these smaller update ones, these major updates that they call them. I feel like the expansion should be brand new stuff, never before seen places, never before seen objectives, stuff like that. Just things, brand new things. Actually new, not come back from a previous thing and slightly make it look different. We got new missions, new weapons, obviously. New missions makes sense, it's an expansion, obviously, it's not rocket science there. We got new weapons, as always, as well, new gear. New raids and dungeons, which is probably the most interesting thing, because that's tied to the expansion. So usually, the expansion brings a raid, and then we get a dungeon for these seasonal updates. So it looks like, from this, we're going to get a dungeon and raid that's part of the expansion. I don't know if they'll bring it right away, or they will actually, basically release it with one of the seasonal ones, but it'll actually be part of the main expansion. Obviously, we don't know how that's going to work yet. But it's pretty obvious that it is going to be part of the actual expansion, since seasonal and expansion are separate and it's new raids and dungeons. I do like that personally, because that is the best example is Last Wish and Shattered Throne. They were the best, in my opinion. I love Shattered Throne Dungeon. It is really easy now, and it needs to be updated to be better, especially the weapons in it. There's not really any unique weapons that come out of it. They all come from the public space and all, so I kind of feel like Shattered Throne needs an update. But I liked how that was. I liked how Last Wish and Shattered Throne combo together, lore-wise, story-wise, actuality, play-wise. It felt nice. I think that was a really cool thing, and I kind of hope that's what they're going for in the future, is bring more raids and dungeons out together that actually are together. They're part of the same thing. I'm hoping that's what this is going to be. If we get more of that, that is perfect for me. I love that idea. So, thank you, Bungie. That is good news. We've got seasonal update, which will bring new and reprised activities. So, it appears that reprised stuff will be coming back during this. So, but like I said, location-wise, I want to make sure it's actual new locations coming out for these expansions and not old ones they bring back. I feel like the seasonal ones should be the old ones. So, looks like that might, again, it looks like that's the way they're going, but this is Bungie after all, so we don't know for sure. But there's reprised activities saying. Hopefully it is a new activity and reprised at the same time, not if they bring a reprised, not reprised or new. I know it says and, but this is Bungie again. They can bring old stuff back, and sometimes that's all they bring back. Sometimes they bring both back, or something new and old. So hopefully they keep up that trend. Obviously that means a lot more work in a sense, but at the same time, if it came from Destiny, it's not, at least D2, it's not much of a reprisal. There is a little bit of updates they have to do to it, but they already have the base code work, so in theory, they shouldn't take that much effort to re-upped it for reprised. I could be wrong about that. They could decide just to scrap and completely start over for something they're bringing back. I don't know, obviously. From D1, obviously, they were bringing, at least according to them, they were bringing it and making it brand new, and they were taking nothing from the old thing. They were just taking the idea of what it looked like and then bringing it brand new to Destiny 2 for like the old raids that they brought back from D1. So I don't know if they're doing that for activities as well, or especially if they came from D2. I don't think they would have to then, but I don't really know. So we'll see. New gear and artifact mods, as always, makes sense. New modifiers and challenges obviously makes sense. New sandbox meta. See, this is a little bit of a problem. Them promising a new sandbox meta. Is that only for PvE or PvP as well? Because they promised us before PvP meta shift, and then we had the SMG for an entire year as the meta, the main meta. And now this year seems to be the same trend at the moment. Is autos, SMGs are still meta, and only a couple hand cannons really stand out. The rest are pretty trash. They're not bad, but when it comes against which one's which, it's a bit iffy. Obviously, if it's a team using hand cannons, they can still dominate, but it depends on team play, picks, and stuff like that, and also depends on the people's skills. So it is a lot of things, obviously, it's PvP. But I'm hoping there'll be actually a meta shift in Sandbox. Hopefully for new weapons that will shift the meta. Personally, I think that'd be the best thing. New events, which I'm not very happy about it. Everyone knows how I feel about this bullshit event they called an event. It's not an event, so everyone knows I'm not very happy about it. So I'm worried about the future events, because if they're calling this an event and it's not an event, and the future events, Guardian Games, Dawning, Haunted One, the Solstice, they're already iffy at events to begin with, but they are events. They give you loot, they give you stuff, so they're a bit iffy. Some of them are a bit shit, some of them need an update, some of them just need to be rearranged, but as a whole, an event. So cool if they keep with that, but they do say new events, which to me states that there's going to be stuff other than those 4 things, or if they do bring those 4 things back, they're going to be completely redone. Because it does say new events, not returning events. So, again, it could just be wordplay there, or just be them saying new events even though they're not really new. This is Bungie, can't really trust exactly what they mean. But then we got the rewards pass, which is all of them have. I'm not really sure how this works still. Are they still going to have a free one for everyone and then a paid one? Which if you buy the yearly thing, the paid one will become obviously paid. You'll get the paid one automatically. Or are they... Because currently the paid one pays for the season as well. But they're no longer having the season, because seasons, as you see up here, is available to all players. So they're free content. Where the expansions are the money. So that's where I'm confused on how the reward system is going to work. If you buy the expansion, do you automatically get the upgraded path for the 2 seasons that come with it? Or do you have to buy the year thing? Like, there's still a lot of questions money-wise here. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work. Because now that these are no longer tied to the reward pass, even though it shows they're tied, if this is free for all, then these, I guess, are free for all. But that is a good portion of their money, too. So there's a little bit of a gap there of problems. It's not much. It doesn't really matter in the long run. As long as the expansion still pays for all of them, if there is a paid pass, then it doesn't matter. But if there is a separate one, like if there's a paid one still and a free one, how is that going to work, especially with all the content free for all? Doesn't that mean they're going to have to add more stuff to the free pass as well? Or are they just going to make it free for everyone? Or are they still going to leave it the same loot-wise as it is now for free and maybe add more to the paid one? Because that's what they're going to have to do here. Currently, how it's set up, you buy the season, you get the pass, and the free pass. If you don't buy the season, you get the free pass, which is a decent bit, but not a ton compared to the paid one, right? Obviously, because there's got to be a balance thing. So that's where the thing currently is right now. Like, if they do it this way, they're going to have to, if the paid one does exist, they're going to have to put more on the paid. They're going to put more incentive to actually want to buy the paid one. So that's the thing, because currently, yeah, it's cool stuff, but if it is a free track and we do get free for all, there's no point. Currently, because it's connected to the season, if you want to play a season, you have to buy the pass, which gives you the battle pass, the enhanced one. So is there going to be separation? Like, I know I'm rambling a bit here, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a bit of... If you get what I'm saying, like, there's a bit of a break there now, where it's going to be free for all no matter what, and there's no more paid pass, so they're just going to add everything to it that's currently exists to them, and it'll be free for all. Or if they still do have a paid one, they're going to have to put a lot more into it, because now you're going to be buying the paid one separate entirely. And it'll be like Fortnite. There is no benefit to it other than the loot. Which, if you can already get the base weapon for free, which I guarantee will still be a thing, the exotic weapon will be part of the free one still. Just have to get farther in. So, it's not really worth it if all you're buying is the battle pass, which in Destiny the only thing you get is materials, which is materials you can easily farm for. There's tons of activities to farm for it, and from what they said they're doing to the game, there's going to be even more ways to farm for that material, and a lot easier and harder ways to get more of it. So it's not really mattering. So this is kind of where there's a gap. I'm not really sure how they're going to play this out. This is just how I'm looking at it currently. Obviously, we'll probably get more info on it eventually. I think if they do add a paid one, they should have specific armor and weapon ornaments that are very unique. Sort of like what we got this season, right? We got really different armor. We got the seasonal armor stuff, but then we also got armor that was special looking. I'm hoping that's the same idea they're going to go with, and then if you tier 200 or whatever it'll be, if they still do the 200, I don't know, then it'll be something super special, you know. I think that was a good idea they did. And I think they should go with that sort of style as well, if they're going to make it paid. But it should be more. Basically, your base materials and stuff should be the free pass, and then the higher pass should be special ornaments for weapons, armor, everything. From exotics to legendaries to just stuff in general. It would allow more customization, more... It'd basically be buying a customs pass. It would just be for customizing stuff. But that's basically what all battle passes are currently anyways. And the weapons and stuff you'd get on the free pass because it's part of the seasonal stuff. So I think that's the best way to do it is a whole bunch of cosmetics for if you buy it that are unique. Have cool effects when you apply more of the pieces together. It has like cool effects, stuff like that. Some exotic weapon ones, some of the just randomly ones that it really doesn't matter. The seasonal ones, obviously, if the exotic seasons, they'll get it as well. I feel, because they do say they're doing that, but I feel like they're going to have to do more of that. Exotic weapon, they can still just add one weapon, that's fine, but they're going to have to put more ornaments for weapons, because they do say legendary weapon and armor ornaments as well. So there should be weapon ornaments again, which we haven't had in a long time. So I'm actually excited for that, if that is intentional and that's not a mistyping. That's awesome, because I love the weapon ornaments for anything. So it's nice to get legendary versions of that again. Gear upgrade resources, like I said, and then cosmetics and more. Which they do say cosmetics, so it's probably shaders, and it says more, which will be ghosts, sparrows, ships, stuff like that. So, but I really feel the base materials, and then some of the, so like the ciphers, the alloys. Well, the ciphers are pretty easy to get. I feel like they could put maybe a few ciphers on the top track, few alloys, few Senate shards, a few prisms, but have like enhancement cores and upgrade modules, glimmer, as well as prisms, ascended alloy shards, and all that on the bottom row. But I have a few on the top row, and instead of just one at a time, it'll be like a stack of 2 or 3 or something. So it'll give more, but then also cosmetics, like a lot of cosmetic type things. I feel like that's their best option to actually get people to buy it, because that or they have to make unique weapons that only come from the enhanced season pass. So, and I really do think they need to have a battle pass free tier and high tier, just like every other games do. And Bungie does technically have it at the moment. They just have it tied to seasonal, so now they're removing the seasonal part of it, so now it's just a battle pass. So they're going to have to do a lot more to it to make it worthwhile, because they're probably still going to charge you the same amount of money, which is $10. So, which currently $10, $15, whatever it is, gives you the seasonal content as well as the loot from the battle pass. So, without the loot, seasonal stuff, it'll only be the loot from the battle pass. So it's going to have to really up their game to make it worth buying. That's how I see it. I do think it's a good system. I like this system. I hope it is still a paid and free pass, because the paid one will get them money and give them the ability to focus on stuff. Bungie definitely needs more money, but at the same time they need to manage their money better so that way they don't run out as quick. But as a whole, I do like this system. I do have a lot of questions. I do wish they would talk a lot more about it. Obviously, this is a year away at the earliest, so sometime next year in the summer. It'll probably be about when Final Shape released, obviously, but still, it'll be a while. We've got around a year, so a little less probably, but yeah. So hopefully they answer these questions and stuff about how the free battle pass and money battle pass will work, if there is still 2 separate ones. Is there going to be exclusive seasonal content that will still come with the thing if you buy it? And then, so the free version will be a whole bunch of the stuff we do already that we pay for, but it'll be free for all. But then there'll be special, like, missions, right? The exotic mission, right, we have every season. Will it be still paid? You have to pay for it, and there'll be, like, unique stuff in it, shaders, or unique ornaments, unique weapons that only come from it, or something. Like, that's what I mean. Like, is there uniqueness to it, or is this going to be a free pass, or is it going to be a money pass that just has the stuff it currently has? Because currently what it has on it is not worth the $10. It's worth about $6 to $7 maybe, but the $10 to $15 you technically have to pay for it. to get even buy it is not really worth it, because now you're paying for the seasonal content in it. So I know I've said it a few times, but I'm curious. This ain't me like picking at sticks or anything. I'm just generally curious, because I do like this system. I think the seasonal system was the best system they had. I hated they took it away for this year. I'm glad they're putting it back. I think this is one of their best systems they've done. They just need to make a little bit more spice. Well, a lot more spice in the seasons. But I think this was their best system. Allows them to bring out smaller, but somewhat decent-sized updates. Have decent stuff to do. So I always liked how that worked. So hopefully this is decent. We will obviously see the time it comes around next year. But we'll also have a lot of info comes out before then, hopefully. Including a trailer, hopefully, to see what this stuff looks like. But I personally am excited. I think this explains a lot. I also do think it makes a lot of questions, but I do like this system. I'm glad they're also giving us 2 expansions. I do think that might be a bit rough for Bungie, but at the same time, it might be fine, because if they build it as one giant expansion, but then separate it, if they separate in the right spot at least, this could work. So basically what they did with Lightfall, but instead of having to wait an entire year for the final shape, you only have to wait 6 months, right? Which wouldn't be that big of a deal. Especially as long as they cut it where it was a good spot and didn't cut it in a really bad spot and the lore actually made sense. Then it would be okay. If it was a decent DLC, it would work fine if they made it as a big DLC and split it in half. I think that is the best way they could do it. Currently, there's better ways, but I think it's the easiest, best route to go at the moment. I am excited for more info on this. I'm not getting my hopes up too much, because right now we do have a bit of a drought. Next season will tell me a lot about where this game is going. In my opinion, that's how I see it. It's the first one's always a bit iffed. So the second, third one we'll have this year will help me understand what's coming. Then obviously this stuff, the more we get on this, will actually get me more hyped or maybe make me more disappointed. I don't know. We will see. I am hyped for this. Bungie, this looks good. Please don't fuck it up. I really want this game to come back on top. It is really, really low numbers right now, and it's very, very depressing. So hopefully Bungie does good. We'll see probably in the next couple months for sure. Hopefully we get a weekly update at least. Even if it's a small one or something, at least we get a weekly one would be nice. Even if it's only in the TWID. We'll see what Bungie decides to do. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. We're almost at 300. Help us get there. Just let me know what you think. Are you excited for this? Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think it might be a bit risky for Bungie to do? Because there's a little bit of risk here. How do you think the system's going to work? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Almost at 300, like I said. So please do subscribe so we can get to 300. Adios. Y'all have a good day. We out.